Alright, so guys, welcome to another video. और आज है Friday. Today was the end of the week, and it was absolutely so volatile that traders और investors आज की डेट में ये सोच रहे हैं कि एक वीक तो बहुत दूर की बात है, एक दिन निकालना मार्केट में बहुत मुश्किल हो गया. And everything just changes in a span of simply 24 hours. अगर एक इन्वेस्टर और एक ट्रेडर खुद अपने आप में अगर वो साथ में प्रोफेशनली वर्क कर रहा है, or if the experience is not that much, it becomes so difficult to manage so many things that are happening globally and within India. So, this is one initiative to make things possible for you. I bring back everything in one video of what you need to know about as a trader and also as an investor in the stock market. So, without a further ado, I will quickly bring you all the great details of what you should be knowing, what happened today, and what were the global updates which led to what exactly happened in the markets today. And it was, let me give you a teaser, a very, very bad day. All right. So, guys, this is a disclaimer that investment in securities market is subject to market risk, which you all know. Read all the related documents carefully before investing. So, whatever that I say is not a buy and sell recommendation. Please do your own due diligence and research before investing and taking any such call in the stock market. Moving on. So, guys, the agenda for today's video is that we will discuss what are the global updates up until now in the global markets as well as in India. And then we will deep dive into the charts and I will show you exactly what is the price action telling us. What are the key pivot levels and the market breadth indicators that you should know. I am aware that most of you do not track these things, but this is precisely what the market data says. So हम अपनी subjectivity को side में करके we bring you the best data which you should know about the stock market, and if you follow this, then you can change the game in your trading going forward. And then we talk about the trader hikes indicator signal. So that is the proprietary signal that I use whether I should be active in the stock market or not, and how much active should I be in the stock market. And then is the Q&A live session. But since this is not a live session, so we'll skip this part. You can put the questions in the comment section. But first, let's quickly deep dive into the global updates and what exactly happened from Thursday and till today, Friday. Right? So let's quickly go and see what exactly happened. All right, so Israel says that it has killed Iranian Navy Chief Ali Reza Tangsiri. So he was one of the key, commanders in the Iranian Navy who was taking care of the movements in the uh, Strait of Hormuz. So Israel says that they have eliminated him, which, if at all is true, then it's a negative for Iran. Then Trump holds for the first time, he is holding for the first time since the war has started on 28th of February, a cabinet meeting. So Trump says that US will be the worst nightmare for Iran if it does not agree to the peace plan. Now guys, अगर आप लोग भी उतने ही कंफ्यूज्ड हैं इन स्टेटमेंट्स को पढ़ के जितना कि एक नॉर्मल person who is not related to the stock market, then you are absolutely on the right track and there is nothing abnormal about it. What Trump has been doing for the past couple of weeks is that during the week, he talks about peace in the stock market, or just directly speaking with Iran. But as soon as the weekend comes, he becomes, sort of aggressive and he changes his stance. And then the markets become volatile just when they open on Monday. So this has been going on. This is not happening for the first time. See, during the week, he was so peaceful, but still, we have 2 days for the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And if at all, Trump behaves like Trump, he will be volatile and he will be surprisingly, aggressive with Iran for the markets to open more volatile on Monday, which is the reason why, for the last week also हमने जब वीडियो बनाई थी हमने डिस्कस किया था कि फ्राइडे को क्यों ओवर सेलिंग आई थी मार्केट में, मार्केट के क्लोज पे, जो आज भी हुआ. विच इज द रीजन कि लोग अभी अपनी पोजीशंस को कैरी फॉरवर्ड नहीं करना चाहते हैं मंडे के लिए. इसीलिए मार्केट की क्लोजिंग में फ्राइडे को और सेलिंग आती है, बिकॉज पीपल सेल वट एवर दे हैव परचेज्ड ड्यूरिंग द वीक और ऑन फ्राइडे, because they do not have probably the right profit cushion, or they do not have the courage to take it on Monday, because they do not trust Donald Trump. Has criticized NATO allies for doing nothing in this situation with Iran, and he has also warned NATO for a very bad future. So he's been asking NATO members for more help, to clear things up in the Strait of Hormuz. But since they do not really want to get involved and be attacked by Iran, they are staying away from these, kind of activities, and they still do not trust Donald Trump, because they do not know whether he will just step back and put them into war directly with Iran. So, which is why NATO members up until now have behaved rationally and have not participated in making things worse for their country members. Now, Trump extends pause on strikes in Iranian power plants till 6th of April. पहले उन्होंने कहा था कि मैं सिर्फ 3 दिन की मोहलत दे रहा हूं आपको, आप स्ट्रेट ऑफ हॉर्मूज को क्लियर कीजिए और अदरवाइज मैं आपके पावर प्लांट्स पे अटैक कर दूंगा. देन ही सेंड्स द 15 पॉइंट पीस डील फॉर ईरान, जो हमने कवर की थी लास्ट वीडियो में. ईरान हैज नॉट टेकन इट वेरी सीरियसली, और क्योंकि वो कह रहे हैं कि इस पीस डील का कोई मतलब नहीं है, वी विल पुट आवर ओन कंडीशंस, जो भी हम डिस्कस करेंगे. बट नाउ देन डोनाल्ड ट्रम्प सेज, क्योंकि वो 3 दिन ओवर हो चुके हैं, नाउ ही हैज एक्सटेंडेड दिस टिल 6th of April. सो क्या है, मार्केट में जब तक ये डेट्स एक्सटेंड होती रहती है ना, डेडलाइंस एक्सटेंड हो रही है, दिस इज कीपिंग द इन्वेस्टर्स वेरी अनसर्टेन एंड जस्ट ऑन देयर टोज. तो जब तक ऐसा मार्केट एनवायरनमेंट रहता है गाइस, मार्केट में वॉलिटिलिटी विल रिमेन टू बी एक्सट्रीमली हाई, बिकॉज यू डू नॉट नो व्हाट विल हैपन ऑन 6th of April. राइट, ये जो डेडलाइंस इंक्रीज हो रही है, वी डू नॉट नो कि उसके बाद पीस होगा कि लड़ाई और एस्केलेट हो जाएगी. सो वी नीड टू ट्रैक ऑल दीज थिंग्स on daily basis and during the live market sessions more so. Then we have continues, but inflation fears are now taking over um, the countries, as you can see. So we saw strikes in Iran, Oman, UAE, Kuwait, Israel, and Lebanon. Despite the peace deal talks going on, we are seeing these strikes happening simultaneously. The International Atomic Energy Agency has urged, restraint after strikes near Bushehr nuclear power plant in Iran. And if things, escalate from this point in time, this can go up like really quickly and really in a bad shape, which is why they have asked to restrain. Then US plans to send another 10,000 more troops in the Middle East. So ek taraf to, Donald Trump is, seeking peace, and at the same time he is mobilizing troops. So ये जो दोनों directions में movement काम हो रहा है, this either is, his tactics to negotiate with Iran on a strong footing, or he is putting the entire country so much at risk, which the investors are discounting and which is the market also discounting. इसीलिए markets अभी volatile बहुत ज़्यादा है. Then crude goes above 104. Now this is not 102, 104 mark, and Asian countries are more at risk. I tell you the reason why. But before that, let's go to the next slide and see the map. So guys, this is the, on the right side, you can see this is the Strait of Hormuz, right? Now Strait of Hormuz has a very narrow, passage which Iran has taken care of. So this is the entire thing, 33 kilometers wide. ईरान इस चीज पे बस होल्ड बना के रखा हुआ है. जो भी शिप यहाँ से पास हो रहा है, दे वर वार्न्ड कि हम उस पर अटैक कर देंगे अगर वो हमारे से बिना बताए यहाँ से पास होगा तो. नाउ दिस पैसेज होल्ड्स 20% ऑफ द ऑयल एक्सपोर्ट्स ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. बट मेजॉरिटी जो यहाँ से ऑयल एक्सपोर्ट होता है, दैट गोज टू दी एशियन कंट्रीज लाइक चाइना, इंडिया, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, all these Asian countries, including Australia also. So these countries depend on oil that is coming from this Strait of Hormuz. इस पे ईरान ने कंट्रोल करा हुआ है. So this 20% oil shortage that we are seeing in the global trade is putting world at risk. Then Iranian parliament, which is called Majlis, is drafting law to levy toll tax on passage of ships. वो कह रहे हैं कि भाई जब तक के लिए अब इन कंट्रीज को प्रॉब्लम हो रही है, चाहे वो एशियन कंट्रीज क्यों ना हो, मतलब हम उनको तेल देखते आए इतने टाइम से, तो हम क्या एक टोल टैक्स लगा देते हैं, जितने भी शिप पास होंगे वो टैक्स पे करेंगे और शिप चले जाएगा, will not attack their ships. Then Iran rejects US peace deal. So this is what I wanted to talk about. They have laid their own conditions. Let's read one by one what these conditions are. आपको ताकि समझ आएगा कि अभी सिचुएशन क्या चल रही है ईरान और यूएस के वॉर में. Acts of aggression and assassination by the enemy must cease. Second condition says objective conditions must be established to ensure that war will not recur. Then he says कि compensation and war reparations, this is most important, must be guaranteed and clearly determined. कि भाई जो भी वॉर में नुकसान हुआ है हमारा और जो आपको कंपनसेशन हमारे को पे करनी है वो आप गारंटी करेंगे और क्लियरली डिटरमाइन करेंगे कि कब देंगे कैसे देंगे. An act, the fourth condition says, an act of hostilities must be implemented on all fronts and for all resistance groups involved in the conflict across the region, referring to Iran's allies and proxies in the region, which includes Lebanon also. कि भाई लड़ाई सिर्फ हमारे से नहीं आपकी खत्म होगी, एंटायर जो भी हमारे साथ में रेजिस्टेंस ग्रुप थे जो जिन्होंने ईरान को सपोर्ट किया, दैट मस्ट ऑल्सो एंड साइमल्टेनियसली. ऐसा नहीं कि आप हमारे को छोड़ के फिर उनको अटैक करने लग जाए. So these are the conditions that Iran has laid down and which you should take note of. Moving on. Well, the Indian government has taken a few steps which you should know. That government has reduced the central excise duty on petrol and diesel and has simultaneously levied export tax on crude products. ये इसलिए किया गया है कि अगर इंडिया से कोई भी क्रूड का प्रोडक्ट एक्सपोर्ट हो रहा है स्पेशली ड्यूरिंग द टाइम जब ऑलरेडी शॉर्टेज है तो उस पर एक एक्सपोर्ट टैक्स लेवी करेगी गवर्नमेंट. और क्योंकि इन्फ्लेशन इंक्रीज होने का रिस्क है इंडिया में, हमारी गवर्नमेंट ने इंटरनल जो सेंट्रल एक्साइज ड्यूटी थी पेट्रोल और डीजल पे उसको रिड्यूस किया है. राइट नाउ ईरान अलाउज पैसेज ऑफ शिप्स टू एशियन कंट्रीज लाइक इंडिया, चाइना एंड पाकिस्तान. ईरान ने अभी कुछ टाइम के लिए अलाउ कर दिया बिकॉज वी हैव बीन देयर ट्रेडिंग पार्टनर्स फॉर डेकेड्स. सो चलिए थोड़ा सा लिहाज किया है विच इज पॉजिटिव फॉर इंडिया, बट टिल द टाइम क्रूड इज एलिवेटेड, अभी जो हम नेक्स्ट भाग में अपनी वीडियो में डिस्कस करेंगे, we still have the highest amount of risk, market risk, and volatility in the markets. The last is Iran allows the passage of ships carrying oil from Strait of Hormuz to the US. अब ये exactly कितने ships पास हुए हैं और US को one time allow किया है कि Iran is allowing every US ship which is carrying oil from Strait of Hormuz is still not clear, but this is coming from solid sources that Iran has done so up until now. All right, so now is the time to deep dive into the charts, and the first one being the USD INR conversion rate. The biggest concern for India right now is not the markets, is not the war with that Iran, US, and Israel are fighting right now. Is not what whether US agrees to the demands or not, or whatever that is. But the biggest risk currently is that our currency is depreciating at a level which is record and is unseen before. So आज की डेट में जो USD है, एक INR कन्वर्जन रेट अगर हम देखें so USD is now 94.79 just a couple of minutes and hours ago when I last checked this. 94.79 per US dollar. So basically एक डॉलर 94.79 रुपीस का पड़ रहा है. एक महीने में this has changed by 4%. Right? This has changed by 4%, and which means that Indian rupee has depreciated by 4% in a month. And if you see that in last 3 months, the Indian rupee has depreciated by 5.3%. So पिछले एक महीने में 4% का depreciation है Indian rupee का. And this shows that Indian rupee is depreciating at record levels, and the the government is ideally so much at risk right now that if they do not intervene at these levels, including the RBI, our country can face real crisis situation. Nobody is talking about this, and this is absolutely irresponsible of the government and the RBI. That if RBI and government cannot talk about all this right now, then God knows when they will talk. 4% आपकी करेंसी एक महीने में गिर जाती है, एंड नोबडी कम्स अप एंड टेक्स द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी एंड टेल्स पीपल कि भाई क्या सिचुएशन है, व्हाट एग्जैक्टली आर यू डूइंग. और ये सिचुएशन अगर आप अभी ठीक नहीं करेंगे तो आप बहुत लेट हो जाएगा. यू नीड टू टेक केयर ऑफ ए करेंसी, और अगर आपके पास अभी सोल्यूशन नहीं है, देन व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज द रोड मैप दैट यू आर फॉलोइंग कि ये कुछ टाइम में ठीक हो जाएगा. आप सिर्फ वॉर को इसमें ब्लेम नहीं कर सकते. यू कैन नॉट कीप ब्लेमिंग वॉर कि यार वॉर की वजह से ये चीज हो गई है. You have to be answerable to 140 crore people who really want answers from you. And this is high time that the Prime Minister has not done any press conference. At least not, he should be there on the dais when the foreign ministers and the finance minister, including the RBI governor, answers that what exactly is their plan to handle this situation, because this is absolutely bad, guys. मतलब ये सच में nobody in the Godi media will talk about all this. But if you talk to any investor who is an Indian or who is foreign investor, they are just looking at this figure 94.79. और जिस स्पीड से इंडियन रुपी गिर रहा है, nobody is interested to invest in Indian economy. As far as the bad taxation policies are concerned, they know how the experience has been so far. So moving on, the Brent crude oil currently is at $104 per barrel, which has, so if you look at the change in last 1 month, the Brent crude has increased by 40%, guys. It has increased by 40%. And this increase is also historic, but the concern is not that whether this has happened before or not. This certainly has happened before. But the concern is that if it sticks above $110 per barrel for some duration of time, 4 weeks, 8 weeks, then the situation that it can cause because of that is more troublesome for everyone, not just us but the entire economy. So अगर ये इस situation पे रहता है, we will face real crisis situation because the inflation will go so high, the production will come down because eventually the people will not pay such high prices for the produced goods. So the production will slow down, economy will slow down, the inflation will rise, and then most of the nations, considering their high debt levels, the debt levels are so high that most of the nations will then be facing crisis in the manner of a recession. It will be. If dollar doesn't cool off and the war goes on, then we are not too far from hitting recession. Well, moving on. The most important aspect of our video, but before that, I really wanted to discuss something else, and that is the closing of the Indian stock market today. Let's quickly take a look at how the indices have closed. So this is Nifty 50 and the closing of Nifty 50. Let's look at the weekly chart, guys. So this is the weekly chart. It'll give you more clarity. So we need to look at the markets now week on week because today was a Friday close. In the weekly closing level, the comparison is more suited to understand कि क्या हुआ है एक हफ्ते में. दिन पर दिन तो हमारे इंडिविजुअल वीडियोस में बात करते हैं, but the weekly close is something that gives you the right picture. So ये weekly candle अगर आप देखेंगे, the candle failed to make a higher high than the previous week. So basically एक lower high बनाया इस week and a lower low and a lower closing. So the entire weekly price action was bearish, and this can be seen in the weekly price candle chart. There is no two ways and doubts about it. And now I will also tell you the key pivot level that we broke on the daily chart. So this is the daily chart. ये आज फ्राइडे की क्लोजिंग कैंडल है. प्रीवियस वीक का क्लोज जो हुआ था वो यहाँ पे हुआ था 13th of March फ्राइडे, वो प्रीवियस राइट. अब तो लास्ट वीक था वो, एंड प्रीवियस वीक का क्लोज भी इसी लेवल पे हुआ था, सेम ही लेवल था, इसलिए वाला हमने सपोर्ट लेवल ड्रॉ करा हुआ है। ये जो कैंडल है गाइस, इसने इस सपोर्ट लेवल को ब्रेक करके नीचे क्लोजिंग दी है, which is in itself a very bearish signal, and this shows that the market lacked buying strength today and for the entire week, and the bulls failed to, you know, push Nifty higher above these support levels and give a solid close. So abhi jo hai, the bears are more in control, and this can be seen from the charts. Now let's go to Nifty 500 chart. The similar action can be seen. We'll quickly show the weekly chart. Similar lower low on the weekly charts, and lower high, and also the lower closing. So all three indicators are bearish. Mid caps similar. So guys, ये almost सभी indices में same story आपको देखने को मिलेगी. That lower high, lower low, and the lower close of the weekly charts. And Bank Nifty, looks more bad in shape. Certainly. So guys, अगर ये inflation का indicator, auto is something that has held up during the week, क्योंकि अगर आप देखेंगे auto ने lower low नहीं बनाया, lower high जरूर बनाया, lower close भी नहीं दिया. It closed within the range of the previous week, which shows that auto somewhat had some strength, and same was with pharma. Pharma ने एक lower low बनाया intraday intra week, lower high बनाया, but the close was slightly above the previous week's close. So basically ऑटो और फार्मा में ही थोड़ी स्ट्रेंथ इस वीक थी, एंड विच दिस वाज सीन इन द स्टॉक्स आल्सो. मैंने कुछ वीक्स पहले बात भी करी थी, कुछ दो on Thursday, exactly when I talked, that I added a few positions in the pharma, and auto stocks that I was holding because market was showing strength. So this was the day. I'll show you on daily charts. This was Wednesday को हमने बात करी थी. The way Nifty pushed higher was when I added some slight tranche of position in the pharma and auto stock that I was holding. So 25% of my portfolio is invested at present, and usi mein hi I added some position, but eventually market toppled it all, reverse kar gayi hai, and which is why I said in the video on Wednesday, the day before Ram Navami, that whenever you add positions in such kind of a market, you should know that, guys, this kind of a market is not where you press the gas till the floor. You do not press the accelerator till the floor. You have to go in staggered manners. ऐसे ही एक investor invest करता है market में. And for a trader, I've shared that this is not the market to be in. And अगर आप कोई भी पोजीशन लेना चाहते हैं, then that has to go on in a staggered manner. जब तक कि market weak है, till the time market data does not give you the right signal to be active and fully aggressive in the stock market, you have to take staggered manner steps, because he is Donald Trump. And now the thing that I talked on Wednesday, जो मैंने बात की थी वेंसडे को, वो आज नेचुरली दिख रही है मार्केट में. एंड दिस इज द एग्जैक्ट रिस्क दैट आई वाज सेंसिंग, कि ऐसा बिल्कुल हो सकता है कि डोनाल्ड ट्रंप अभी कुछ बोलें और एक दिन बाद कुछ और बोलें, और वीकेंड के बाद मंडे को कुछ और बोलें. तो यू कांट बी एग्रेसिव इन द स्टॉक मार्केट राइट नाउ. आपको धीरे धीरे ही चलना है. नाउ pharma is what we discussed. Defense showed weakness on the weekly charts. Metal also showed some weakness. These sub indices has done exactly that. Now crude is, just I talked, was at $104 per barrel, and this is exactly the situation right now. Gold, silver are going nuts and crazy, and they are showing highest amount of volatility. और जो लोग ये कह रहे थे कि वॉर में गोल्ड एंड सिल्वर बढ़ेगा, एंड इफ यू हैवंट वॉच्ड माय वीडियो, देन गाइस I will still link it in the description below. Go and watch that video. I made that video more than a month ago. I And see how I analyzed and predicted this fall in the gold and silver. It is not that I am boasting about myself. मैं अपनी तारीफ नहीं कर रहा हूँ. I am just teaching you how I analyze things in the stock market. आप भी ये चीज सीख सकते हैं. और जब तक आप ये नहीं सीखेंगे, आपके अंदर वो कॉन्फिडेंस आएगा ही नहीं और आप सबसे सिर्फ पूछते रहेंगे कि यार मैं ये कर लूँ, मैं गोल्ड ले लूँ, मैं सिल्वर ले लूँ, मैं स्टॉक्स बाय कर लूँ, मैं म्यूचुअल फंड बेच दूँ। आप ऐसे सवाल पूछते रहेंगे। द एंटायर ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ मेकिंग दिस चैनल इज कि आप मेरे से सीखें और एक जर्नी में हमारे साथ बने रहें, and then you become independent in the stock market and start taking your own rational decisions, just like the top traders and investors in the stock market. जैसा एक टॉप, मैं आपको मोस्टली ट्रेडिंग के बारे में ही नॉलेज दूंगा, धीरे धीरे साथ साथ आई विल कीप शेयरिंग यू व्हाट आई हैव लर्नड इन माय इन्वेस्टिंग जर्नी, बट दिस चैनल इज प्रिसाइसली 95% फॉर ट्रेडर्स, राइट? तो आप रेगुलरली ये चीज सीखेंगे कि व्हाट यू शुड बी डूइंग एज अ ट्रेडर इन द स्टॉक मार्केट. ट्रेडिंग इज मोर अबाउट द मेंटल गेम. जब तक आप मेंटली नहीं देखेंगे ना इन चीज़ों को, जब तक आप एक दिमाग से नहीं सोचेंगे और ये नहीं सोचेंगे कि रिस्क रिवॉर्ड इज नॉट एवरीथिंग इन द स्टॉक मार्केट, it though it is one of the most important thing, but how you think about that risk and reward and how you analyze things going around you is the real game for a trader in the stock market. तो वो चीज सीखने के लिए आपको रेगुलरली बने रहना पड़ेगा. एंड इफ यू हैवंट सब्सक्राइब टू द चैनल, then I think this is the right time for you to go and subscribe to the channel. Press that bell icon and be a part of Trader Hikes in the journey to learn about stock markets and be independent and take your own decisions, right? So this is all. I'll quickly tell you what how the Asian markets are behaving. सुबह आज निकाय ऊपर पॉजिटिव खुला था, but you see this selling. This is the kind of volatility that I am talking about, guys. जब निकाय मैंने देखा था सुबह तो इट वॉज पॉजिटिव 2%, राइट? एंड नाउ इट इज नेगेटिव 1.5%. सो 3.5% की मूवमेंट आ रही है एक दिन के अंदर. दिस इज सेम विद ताइवान, बट निकाय वॉज मोर वॉलेटाइल टुडे. एंड सी दिस इज कॉस्पी. कॉस्पी इज कोरिया का स्टॉक एक्सचेंज. दिस इज ऑल्सो वॉलेटाइल. Germany, UK, and Canada all negative. So this is all. And अभी इससे पहले कि हम एंड करें, आई रियली वांट टू टेल यू समथिंग अबाउट द मार्केट ब्रेथ एंड द डेटा दैट आई follow. One of the data points that I follow and take my decisions based on. So this is the market breadth. So the easiest thing that I am showing you right now, right? अभी breadth जो आप देख रहे हैं, look at the number of stocks which are trading above 50-day EMA. This shows that medium term trend के ऊपर जो कितने number of stocks हैं. This is just 16%. सो बेसिकली सिर्फ 16% स्टॉक्स ही 50-day EMA के ऊपर ट्रेड हो रहे हैं. नाउ लुक एट 100-day EMA, दैट्स जस्ट 18%. 200 के ऊपर, 200 इज बेसिकली कि लॉन्ग टर्म ट्रेंड के ऊपर कितने स्टॉक्स हैं, किन स्टॉक्स का अभी भी ट्रेंड बना हुआ है. इट इज जस्ट 21%. So roughly around 80% of the stocks in the stock market have lost their long-term trend. Is the 52-week high आप देख रहे हैं, continuously 52-week high, ज़्यादा number of stocks लगा रहे हैं. And look at the number of stocks that were below 3, more than 3% of price change today. 983 yesterday, क्योंकि मार्केट थोड़ी सी रन अप की थी, was 77. उससे पहले देखिए 108. 1874 was on 23rd of March. उससे पहले 1141 on 19th March. So this high number shows that market is absolutely very volatile right now, and you have to be very, very, very cautious. You just can simply go and do random stuff in the stock market. So let's quickly come to what am I doing in this scenario. This is the trader hikes indicator signal. So I have self-designed based on the data points that I gather. The few subjective, very less subjective, but few more objective indicators that I use, which are more complicated, so I'm not discussing in the video, and they need some background work after the market ends. So that is something that I prepare not just on every day but also on weekends. So most of the things I track on weekdays, and then there are a few more indicators that I track on the weekend, and cumulatively I judge of how the market is currently looking like. Should I be aggressive, should I stay out, or should I press more aggressive gas button to do trading? So let's see what that indicator has shown me. And 1 2 3 and go. That indicators tell me that I am in a no trade zone currently, and this is it. this is a no trade zone for me. I am not trading anything right now, and I am staying away from the markets, and I did not do anything today. The last thing that I did was on Wednesday when I added first level of tranches in the existing stocks that I was holding from the pharma and auto space. That did not work out well. Most majority of my portfolio is still in cash, and I am still remaining out of the market. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, then please go and subscribe to the channel, because tomorrow and over the weekend we'll be meeting for a very interesting topic, and we'll see of how the global cues are shaping up, whether the peace deal talks are going in the right direction or not, and how exactly you should be prepared for the next week, Monday. Until then, take care, be safe over the weekend, and I'll see you